Well, with Money Station, the man, the knowledge. Welcome, man.
Well, it's good to be here, man. It's good to be here.
No, it's good, man. We've got to be going through all things life advice and even like budgeting, finance, money. A lot of times people need this type of information. So you're the best guy for it, man. So yeah, man. A lot of times now I even see like people talking about like the average salary now is like 35K. Like, how? What do you think of that right now? Do you think it's a competitive salary in this day and age?
I wouldn't classify it. So I think it's the average salary right now is about 30k, 30 to 32k. The considerations of it being competitive, nah, because of inflation.
Yeah,
30k now is 2 grand a month. You know, um, you're looking at your average rental property. You're looking at about £1,400. You know, for a one bed. So take that into consideration. You're left with £600 every single month, and you
yeah.
still have council tax that you have to pay for. You still got shopping. You still got your phone bills. You still got all the other utility bills like your electricity, your gas. 30 grand. Nah.
It's actually not enough because I always think to myself like, how does someone survive? Like in this like economy right now, cost of living's crazy. Like when you have all these bills and you actually just add it up, like how is one actually meant to kind of live on that on a weekly, even monthly basis?
It's usually through a combination of salaries with their partners.
Yeah.
So I read something the other day where it specified that 60 grand today was about 250 grand back in the day. So what happens to money is it loses its purchasing power because of inflation. As the banks print more and more and more and more money, the purchasing power of the money goes down and down. So that's the reason why the value of stuff is far higher now than it used to be back in the day. So back in the day, if we're talking about the industrial age where you had individuals that were going to work, they was able to provide for a nuclear family that's a wife and two kids at home. The reason why they was able to do that is because those individuals might be getting paid 15 to 20 grand in a year, but their houses were 25k. Some of their houses were 20 grand. So we to put that into perspective, people were actually earning more than the houses that they were living in. Now you look at today, if you got somebody that has a salary of about 30 grand, um, you would not even be able to get a home. You wouldn't be able to get a mortgage on 30 grand, or it will be very difficult for you to be able to get a mortgage because the lending rate right now is about 4.5 times. So that means, let's say for example, a house was 200,000. Yeah,
Yeah.
you would need to be earning quite a lot of money. You would have to be earning quite a lot of money to be able to actually get that. And I think on 30 grand, it would be very difficult for you to do that. Houses are not 200 grand anymore. We're talking about they're in the regions of about 500 grand. Some of them are looking at about 300, 400 grand, depending on the type of area that you're in. So people are, 40, 50k is the sort of regions that you want to be looking at on a yearly basis before you even start having those considerations. Plus savings. Plus, if you want to multiply your money, you have to start looking at investments and things like that. So, yeah, man, 30 grand is. I'm not saying that, 30 grand is bad money, but 30 grand is not what it once was.
Yeah, it actually isn't because cool. Let's even say 40, 50K. Like, let's even forget about getting a mortgage. Let's talk about even rental prices because a lot of people now are opting to pay rent. Like, and even with like between 30 to 40K, let's say rental prices in London alone is like, let's say anywhere between 1.2 to 1.4 or one bedroom. Like, and I just think to myself, when you actually added up, like you said, like the tax, let's say you're driving, your insurance, you pay £50 a week on food, what's that, 200 a month? And all these bills are accumulating, like, and then obviously you go to someone should have also like one should be having savings. Like, where the savings meant to come from?
Yeah, it's very difficult because 40k is about 2.8k a year, a month. Yeah?
Yeah,
So let's say we look at 2.8k a month. Let's say the rent is 1.4. Yeah?
yeah,
Then obviously you're going to be left with another 1.4. Now, depending on your lifestyle and how you live, some people can actually budget. And let's say, for example, shopping is 200 quid, that drops it to £1,200. Let's say your gas and electricity comes to about an average of about £80, then that drops it to about 1120. And then some people obviously might get modest cars. You know, you don't necessarily have to get a fancy car, but average lease price we're looking at about is about £300. Some people are getting on salary sacrifice, but let's say about 300 quid. We're dropping that down to about, you know, 800 quid. By the time you know it, unless if you actually live on a really tight budget, you probably could save in the regions of about £300-400 every single month. Now, that might not be deemed as, you know, a lot in some individuals' eyes, but life is about accumulation, and it's what you do with that money next that will actually put you in a better position. But yeah, it is very difficult because you remember we're not talking about the average person that is living, you know, single and within their own homes. Most of these things are impacting people that have kids. You know, people that like single parent households where you've got a mother that's might be bringing in, you know, 30 to 35 grand, and the individual's having to look after the kids, feed the kids. They're still having to obviously pay for the car. They're still trying to send them to curricular activities and all of those things. So there's not really any room for saving on those pretenses. If we're talking about the average, you know, 20-something-year-old individual, then, you know, the scope of things is a bit different, isn't it? Because sometimes you can, you know, go back to your mum's house and say to yourself, I'm going to save a set amount every single month. But if you're living out, it's bloody difficult. It is difficult.
Yeah, because even touching on that, like a lot of people now, or some people, I won't even say a lot, some people live paycheck to paycheck. And this is another reason why people can't save as much as they want. Because when you live paycheck to paycheck and you're not budgeting, you're not actually managing your finances correctly, like there's no room for you to actually have a savings where you can, let's say, get a mortgage or save for, I don't know, some investments that you want to make. And this is a problem with a lot of people in their 20s because let's say you're living at home, a lot of people are not utilizing that as a way to kind of take that next step in terms, like I just said, like maybe if you want to get your own mortgage and whatnot. Some people just use it to buy like luxury goods,
Yeah.
buy that expensive car, and these are the reasons why a lot of people are not actually seeing like a lot of benefits of all these things like I just mentioned, because like there's no real kind of end goal with all these things that they're doing. Like having a nice car in your 20s is good, but I always say unless you can like afford it twice, don't get it.
Yeah.
Because like even when like you finance a car, like you're paying 300-400 a month,
Yeah.
and then you have to add up all your other bills as well. Like if you can't afford that, like I don't really know like what you're doing even financing that type of car.
Yeah.
Like you should
Yeah.
actually just like lower your cost of living,
Yeah.
because again we're in a cost of living crisis and a lot of people don't understand that.
But it comes down to a lifestyle inflation. So I'm going to give you a little scope for you to understand this year. Just imagine this in your head. So you've got an individual and that person's bringing in, let's say they're bringing in 3 grand a month, yeah? Now, that person's been given a pay rise. That person now makes £3,500 a month. Now, what the average individual will do is they will fall into something called lifestyle inflation. So that means because they're getting that additional £500 a month, which is an extra 6 grand per annum, they will say, this additional money that I have, I am going to increase my lifestyle in line with that. So they will get a better car, or they will, spend more money on holidays or something like that. But all it's doing is eating away at their money every single time. Now, what happens is inflation still plays its role within that situation. So let's say that individual now has, they're making that £3,500, and time goes on and incrementally their salary's not really going up. Yeah, because that happens sometimes. When you've gone now and spent that money on that finance, instead of you telling yourself, let me continue to keep living in the same lifestyle or the same way that I was living before when I had 3 grand, and just put that additional money that I have away for something else, have it into an emergency fund pot, or put it into an ISA account, or put it into a savings account, or put it into a high interest bearing account where you can actually earn money on it. They want to keep up with the Joneses. And this is where the problem happens. A lot of people, their issue is not how much money they make, it's what they do with the money when they get the money. It's not having the ability to save that money, it's not having the ability to keep that money. And we're just coming into a time now where, you know, everything is going up so significantly. And, you know, lifestyle inflation is not what you want to be doing in this current climate. You want to be cutting back, but you want to be earning more. So you want to tell yourself, let me reduce my expenses as much as possible. Let me park this money away into this. I call it the ESMIC model. Yeah. So earn, save, multiply, invest, and then your last is charity. That's when you get into philanthropy. Yeah. So you want to earn a certain amount, you want to increase your earning potential. The more you increase your earning potential, the more that you're able to save. Then you need to find something that's going to multiply that money, whether that's obviously buying property to flip it and sell it on for more money, but something that's capital intensive. Yeah. Then you want to look at a place where you invest your money. Investing your money is something that's going to give you long-term gains. That's the longevity of things. So some people might invest it into a stocks and ISA share account. Some people might invest it into mutual funds, such as you might look at certain indexes, S&P 500 or things like that. And then that's something that's growing your money, because what it's doing is keeping your money ahead of inflation, yeah? Then after you do that and you generate that money, some people do it for tax purposes, some people do it because you got to have something called a law of compensation, where the more that you distribute your money out to other individuals and help the world, more money comes back to you. They give it to charities. And with charities, people don't even know this, but people make far more money when they donate money to charity. And this is, you can actually look this up. People make far more money when they donate to charities than when they don't. People don't know that.
Why is that?
It's because you have something called the law of compensation. The law of compensation is the value that you put out into the world is the value that you usually tend to get back, yeah? So when people are putting money into these charities and stuff, remember, you're building connections, you're building networks, you're building relationships with governments, you're building relationships with multiple people. Now, let's say, for example, you created a foundation for kids to help them in education, or you created a foundation for residential homes. That's a good example, yeah? Now, these residential homes need kids that are, you know, either they have disabilities or kids that do not have a support unit that the average individual might have, yeah? Do you know government grants, or the government is paying about 25 grand per kid in some cases.
They're saying the
Just
person
because you're
that's
helping them.
opening these businesses can use most of the government grants to fund it.
They can use most of the government grants to fund it, bro. And this is how people are actually doing things in this day and age. What they're doing is they're creating models where the government is actually funding a lot of their enterprises. Studios do it all the time. I don't know if you've seen it, but you see like music studios.
Yeah.
Some of them will do incentives with kids, and they will bring kids that come from college in and teach them how to do music and stuff like that. Yeah, these are given by government grants.
Okay.
So they're setting up charities around these infrastructures. Philanthropy is probably one of the best things that you could do. Like, it's probably one of the best things that you could do. When you gain, you distribute out evenly, and then you get back. The same applies with business within itself. Think about any business that you've had. Yeah. The reason why you continue to get repeated clients, and the reason why you get people that constantly come into your business, is because you are providing value to another individual's life. And that value that you provide into that person's life comes back in what?
Money. Yeah.
That's all it is.
Actual, yeah. It's true.
But that's the model. So anybody that needs to know that model, yeah? I'm going to say it one more time just so you don't get it. It's ESMIC. Earn, save, multiply, invest, and then charity.
That's a good model for you lot to take in. That's some gems. Like, that's the thing, because a lot of times I feel like people in their 20s ain't exposed to these type of information. People don't know about it. Like, and this goes back to the point I make about how a lot of people now are spending their money, especially in their 20s. And this is why a lot of people now are struggling with the cost of living crisis and whatnot. And you're even seeing like more people like even staying at home longer. Like, no one's really looking at getting a mortgage or moving out because, like, really speaking, like, even I see something on Instagram the other day. Like, why is it that like females are getting properties or seeing them the keys, but the
Yeah.
guys are not as you're not seeing them as frequently as you're seeing the girl. Like, why do you think that is?
Yeah. Bro, do you know what? Yeah, you're gonna put me into a deep hole.
Hey, this one
No,
needs to be discussed, man.
not everything that you see, yeah, is is the truth. But no, in all honesty, yeah, um, I think it's just about making better decisions.
Yeah,
Um, Men of today would rather look like it than actually be it. Um, it's it's the pressures of social media, and I've had this conversation on so many different occasions. Social media is not real life.
not real life,
Like,
man.
there's stories that I know of individuals that they can have loads of followers on Instagram, bro, but they're still working a normal 9 to 5 job. Like, it's not what people actually think, and the biggest trap that people put themselves in is keeping up with the Joneses. Women are clocking on. Women have clocked on. They see what assets do. They've seen that asset accumulation is what's actually making people wealthy. They're seeing that asset accumulation is what's giving people that stability. So they're telling themselves, you know what, I'm gonna go put money into the houses and stuff. I've had conversations with women in the past where it's like, you know what, this is what I'm gonna do, this is how I'm gonna set up my life. And it's so focused and laser visioned, it's like house. I need to go get myself a property, I need to go get myself a property. And I've had the same conversations with some man them, and they would rather go to the club, shut it down, or
Bottles.
do bottles, or not even just that. It's like buy certain clothes that is just bare money and things like that, just so they can look a certain type of way for the women. So it's a different it's a mentality thing right now, because it's not like people are not making money. As I said, that's not the problem,
It's what
because
they're spending it
it's
on.
what they're spending their money on. And imagine all of that money that you spent on those things. If you was to actually save that, if we was to get a spreadsheet and we was to say, you know what, we're gonna go through your whole bank and we're gonna put all the expenditures that actually didn't matter in life, yeah, that you've gonna made. I guarantee that a lot of people would actually see where a lot of their problems stem from, bro. And it's buying stuff to impress people. It's not just normal bills. That's why I don't. That's why I kind of differentiate people that pay bills and have to do that to go and survive from people that will get money and then just spend it, spend it, spend it, spend it, spend it. Because it's like you've been given that platform. You're in a great position because you're not in a position where you're having to spend out so much. But why do you do it?
True. Because I
Women.
even think of like let's say like on holidays or like when you're going out. Let's say the clubs, like really and truly, a lot of these girls you don't see them spending on tables. Girls will go
Uh,
and jump into a guy's table. The guy is spending like couple k, 1, 2K on a table, bottles. The girl, all she needs to do is come, sit down, and enjoy. And this is why you're seeing more girls like in this generation now having keys, getting their houses and whatnot. Because they're learning, they know they can save money because they don't need to be spent on anything. Guys are covering majority of these things, and this is how they're saving better than the guys.
but
Like,
men are tricking, bro. But they're
bro,
tricks, bro.
it's
They're
crazy,
tricks.
man. Like, is a game. It's the game now where like I feel like the girls are just clocking on. Like like you said, just invest in the properties, and like if like I feel like they can manage the finance a lot easier because as a guy, you feel like you need to go spend to impress.
Exactly, bro.
You as a girl, you don't really need to spend to impress. As a
Exactly.
guy, you need to
Exactly.
like, and I don't know if it's a thing where like the way the generation is now, like that's how people kind of feel the need that they get their ego up and whatnot. Like they feel happier about themselves. Like
It's misguidance. Because think about who wins the race, yeah? It's like the tortoise and the hare. Yeah? People are running to this. They run into this fabricated world that they think is the world that they should be living. So they're getting all these things. It's like, oh, I have something to show for it. Yeah? Okay, you got that now. But remember, your conversations change when you get into your 30s. Your conversations change when you get into your 40s. Your conversations change when you get into your 50s, yeah?
mm,
Have you noticed anybody that has stuck at something for long enough and has a plan, yeah, usually tends to have better results in the future than those who just live impulsively in the moment. So men think that they have to spend to impress girls. But bro, you're just attracting the wrong women. Because there's women out there that will tell you, why are you spending your money on that? There's women out there that actually tell men, you know what, yeah? You need to sort out your life. And this is just a harsh reality that some people don't like, yeah? The woman will tell a man, you need to sort out your life, yeah? We need to start thinking about buying houses. We need to start thinking about moving out. We need to start thinking about these things, yeah? So save some of your money. But because that is an uncomfortable truth, they don't want to do it because you're seeing your guys going out, getting the women and that. You're seeing your guys doing all of this. And bearing in mind, bro, these girls are not spending the money, you know?
They're not spending.
They're not spending the money, bro. Like, they might buy 1, 2 drink, yeah? These guys are buying bottles and tables, bro. For you to spend, and I don't care what nobody says, yeah? Even if you're a millionaire, because I actually speak to people that have money, yeah? Even millionaires have turned around to me and said to me, I am not spending 2.5 grand on a table if I'm not benefiting from it. Like, you see, when they spend money, bro, it's intention. So they will do it because they got a client meeting, or they will do it because there's an individual in there that they need to show that stuff to because they want to actually gain something from it. Bro, these men are doing it for 5 minutes of pleasure, bro. Not even 5 minutes, bro. Some of them are doing it for a minute of pleasure. But guess what? Your pockets are hurt, though.
Hurt. A lot of people don't see it, man. Like I said, social media is the biggest liar in life.
Yeah.
Like, social media will show someone with a nice car, all these designers and the drip, and that's what people think to themselves, like, bro, like, this person's actually living a life. Like, it's deceiving. At the end of the day, people need to actually understand, like, with social media, there's only so much that they show you. They don't show you the bad days. They don't show you their bank account.
Yeah.
Why is that? Because trust me, like, these things, like, it doesn't always paint a good picture. And I feel like the sooner people realize that, the sooner they'll understand, like, impressing girls by buying tables and doing all these designers and spending luxury goods, like, is not the way to go. Because, like you say, you're attracting the wrong girls. The right girls, you don't need to be doing all of that. Like, you really don't.
And you know what is so crazy, yeah? As a man, it's kind of like this shit. You see, when you get into that position where, you know, you're making so much money or you've made so many good decisions that percentage of the things that you even buy for your girls is so small. So I'm going to give you an example. Bro, let's say you make 10 mil, yeah?
Yeah.
And you spend 10% of that,
Mm-hmm.
yeah?
Yeah.
Bro, you're spending an M, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Now, bro, if you spend 1% of that, bro, you're spending 100 grand. Now, let's say now, yeah, you spend 1% of that money, you go out and you say to your girl, you know what, you've held it down this whole time, yeah, and we're up. So I'm gonna go spend 100 grand, yeah, bro. You're gonna go buy all those things, but that's only 1% of your wealth, bro, that you've gone and bought. Now, deep it. Your girl looks like she's gone clear, yeah, because she's got the Chanel bags, she's got the Birkin bags, she's got all these clothes and that. But you can do that at a time because 1% of your wealth is gone, bro. It's only 1% of your wealth. Bro, man them are, and this is real life, bro, I'm telling you. Man them are getting 5 bags in a month, bro. And they're going out spending 4 bags.
This is it.
Like, bro, like, when you deep that,
crazy.
it's crazy. That is literally, that's such a massive percentage of your money, but we're talking about 90% of your money gone.
Like, I don't know. Like, would you say that, like, men are intimidated by, like, let's say successful women? Like, let's say if your girl, your partner earns more than you.
Yeah. But the only type of men that I think that is men that are very insecure. I'm gonna be honest with you. You see, if you look at a nuclear family structure where you usually tend to have a father in the home, or you have some sort of male influence, it's not that way. I've had numerous conversations with different people. The reason why certain men feel like they have to be the breadwinner is because it makes them feel insecure that their woman will have more money than them and they cannot offer anything other than money. Because remember, bro, being a provider is not just about money, bro. Like, this is where people get it twisted. Like, you see if you build an infrastructure for a woman, yeah? For a woman to become the best version of herself, for a woman to be in a safe place, for a woman to feel a level of security and all those things. Bro, a man could be putting in half of the money into the house, yeah? But he is that infrastructure. He's created such a safe haven for that woman that a woman can still be feminine within that. And this is my problem with guys, yeah? And this is the craziest thing that I'm going to say right now. A lot of men don't get women until they get money, bro. Like,
Real life, man.
bro, but you see certain guys, you see when they start getting money, bro, that's when they get women. So it's new to them. So now it's kind of like, you know what? I need to keep this money in order to keep this girl enticed, bro. If you're one of those individuals here like that, bro, you need to fix up because, bro, man's been getting girls before the money, bro. Like, bro, it's who you are. It's in you. Like, it's in you. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, I do think that girls intimidate guys, bro, but that's because they got insecurities within themselves, and I think they really need to take some accountability and working on themselves to understand that it's not just money that's gonna go get the girl, because that girl is still gonna be messing with a guy, bro, that hasn't got as much money as him, but because of the way that he is as a man, she wants to deal with him, bro, and that's how it goes sometimes.
You know what? Yeah, I agree with you to a certain extent, but I feel like sometimes when you, let's say, cool, you're going on social media, and I think social media is portraying this kind of side where, like, guys feel like you need to have X amount of money in order to be with this type of girl, because sometimes you might see that this girl doesn't want to be with this guy because he hasn't got this amount, he's not earning this amount, and I see it all the time on social media, and I feel like this has made a lot of guys feel like if the girl's earning more than them, then it's wrong. But end of the day, like you said, there's actually not like because there's many forms and many ways that you can actually show like security and like prove apart from being a breadwinner and whatnot, like that. I don't know. I feel like it's important that you need to show that like when you have a partner that I don't know that it's gonna be like beneficial. 'Cause I don't think that shows all aspects of like the like just getting money, like having more money than your partner shows all aspects of like the spectrum kind of thing. So
Let's keep it real, yeah. Okay, we said the average salary is 30 grand.
yeah,
Yeah, deep this year. Only 5% of people make 80,000 a year. Yeah, and I think it's about 2% that make 100 grand a year. So if 5%, so 95% of people make less than 80 grand a year. Yeah. So when we're putting this category of bro, man, them are making bare money, blah 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 blah. Yeah, let's just keep it real. 70 grand, 60 grand, 50 grand, 40 grand, 30 grand. It's not bare money, bro. Like it's not bare money. Yeah, but people are still living in relationships with it. There's people that are still married. There's people that still keep a household together. There's people that still have children. This social media world only shows you the lifestyles of those who are portraying to be the 1%.
yeah,
And this is the problem. Because when people are looking at these things, they're saying, my man must buy me flowers. My man must take me to this restaurant. My man must pay all my bills. My man must do this. My man must do that. But bro, if 2% of people earn 100 grand a year, yeah, and the people that earn the 100 grand a year are saying they can't do that, you told me where these men are coming from, bro, or where this lifestyle's coming from.
I have no clue. Like it's crazy.
But it's lies, bro. All of it is lies, bro.
It's lies.
It's lies, bro.
Like even you said like cool like weddings, like even to get married, like now it costs what? It's like 60K.
Yeah,
I think yeah, like the average wedding is anywhere between 30 and 60. Anywhere between that now.
Yeah.
Like and it's crazy now because like how does one even like get married, like let's say in their 20s when most people now are not even saving for that.
Remember, traditionally, it used to be the parents that pay for marriage.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Now people are taking out loans.
Loans for marriage.
Yeah, so people are taking out loans for marriage and they're still paying it back to this day, bro. There's individuals that I've heard stories on, and this is live old stories, bro, credible sources, of people that took out loans for marriage when they was in their 20s and they're in their 50s and they're still paying off the loan.
Chai. Like, you see me, like, I know obviously, like, you need to, well, no, you don't even need to, but I feel like marriage is something that a lot of people want to kind of cement and, like, make themselves feel secure with their partner and whatnot. And I understand that, but until I'm prepared for a wedding, for me, that's off the cards because, end of the day, like, no matter what my partner might say to me, what pressure she might give me, I feel like you should never rush into having a wedding because end of the day, like let's say you're in your late 20s, even early 30s, and you haven't got the money saved. Like, why am I taking a loan out? Like, and then having to pay that money back over years. Like, I'd rather be in a comfortable position where I can pay that wedding off, or even like close to it, rather than taking a large chunk of sum, like just to pay off that wedding. like taking that loan now, and I don't think it's justified, man. Like
Yeah,
people are rushing into these things.
yeah, but you know what the problem is? Why can't somebody just go to the registry office and get married? If you actually think about it, yeah, remember, marriage is an oath between two individuals where it's a speech from the word of God to say that you're going to commit your lives to each other for the rest of your life, yeah?
Yeah,
Why does that require you having to spend 60 grand to show that you love an individual?
imagine.
Because if you really love that person, yeah, you will go to the registry office, you will get married to that individual, you will build to a certain level, then you will have the ceremony later on.
It's
Because
true.
that's what a lot of people have done. Yeah, they'll get married and they'll have the ceremony later on. You just think that they just got married at that time, bro, because you didn't know that they was married before and they just had that ceremony at that time. But now it's starting to become like marriages is a monetary thing where it should be publicized to everybody. Where it's like, look what we've done, and that's not the
Exactly
whole
that.
purpose of marriage, bro.
It's not.
The purpose of marriage is companionship. The purpose of marriage is two individuals becoming one. That's the purpose of marriage. So, bro, the whole money situation around that, yeah, I think it's just all a stunt, man. And you see me, yeah, I stay away from that, man. I stay away from that. I'm not really, yeah.
Yeah, because marriage, like you see, like divorce rates are high, like, and like even going back to this, like, because let's say, cool, like you have a kid, but like you're not happy in your marriage. Do you think the parents should stay together for the sake of their kids?
Do you know what, yeah? This is where the thing is, where it's difficult, yeah? Now, this is the problem with most people. They don't try. So, you have hardships in anything in life, yeah? When you had hardships in school, did you give up?
Ah,
When you had hardships in doing your university qualification, did you give up?
mm-mm.
When you've been given trials and tribulations in life, in business, or in anything else, have you given up?
No.
Okay, now, this is what people don't do in life yet. People don't address the actual devil in the room. Most marriages, yeah, the reason why they have the problems, because you got to remember, yeah, the number one leading cause as to why marriages fail is finances. That's the number one leading cause as to why marriages have problems, yeah? So that usually comes down to somebody's decisions in terms of how they actually allocate their finances. Now, if you've got two individuals that do not know what they're doing with their money, yeah, there's always going to be that problem within a relationship. But do people take heed to say, let me go marriage counseling? Or, let me go and see a marriage specialist that is actually going to provide therapy so we can work on our marriage. Let's sit down and have a conversation. Let's try something where if we are angry at each other, yeah, before we go to bed, we have a conversation with each other and we completely clean the slate so we go into the next day not being angry at each other anymore. I think people just are too easy to give up now. And you've brought in the creation of kids in this world. There's a 1 in 4 trillion, I think it's a 1 in 400 trillion chance, yeah, that you are born as you.
Mm.
So you bringing your kids into this world is literally a gift. It's precious, yeah. Stats tell you very simply, kids that grow up in two-parent households deviate from drugs. They have better education systems. They have better foundations. They usually tend to do better in society, yeah. But a lot of individuals are getting with each other in the beginning without having these deep conversations. You need to have these conversations with an individual, and instead of trying to change the person that you're with, yeah, what you need to do is either accept the person for who they are or you walk away. People need to start doing what I call quality control. Yeah? Quality control is literally this. If Nike know that within one of their warehouses, yeah, that there's a defect with one of the trainers, they're not going to lay it out. They're not going to lay it out, yeah? It's the same thing that you should apply to your life. If you can see the red flags from the beginning, stop fucking telling yourself that, oh, I can just work it out. You do not like that thing in that person. You know that you can't stand and you can't put up with that. But because you're so interested in the ideology of getting married to the individual because of what society will deem as, oh, you need to be married by this certain age and you need to do this and you need to do that. That's the reason why you're making stupid decisions. Bro, people need to be much more selective and careful with the people that they're getting with, and they need to ask them deep questions. If you were sitting across the table from a woman, yeah, or vice versa, you could usually tell in the first conversation with an individual whether you actually like that person or not, or whether you can actually deal with that person or not. And I'm going to give you an example, yeah? Let's say you're a person that wants your girl to go to the gym,
Yeah.
yeah? And you like a nice body on a woman. Now, you look at that woman and she has a nice body, yeah? What you classify that as, but let's say she got BBL and everything else to go get that body. But you ask her, do you go gym? And she goes, no. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You thinking in your head, think about how hard it is to change a habit that you have today. Yeah, it's very difficult. And in order for change to happen, there needs to be two things. Yeah, it needs to be habitual to where you constantly do something on a day-to-day basis to change it, or a traumatic experience has to happen to you in order for you to change it. But think about how hard it is for you to change. Now, you trying to change and mold a woman to be a gym goer, it's not going to happen. She ain't been doing it for 25 years, bro.
Yeah.
So wouldn't you then think to yourself, okay, that's not something that I like, and I know that I'm not gonna like that. So let me not get with a
This
person
is
like
true,
that, bro. This is the truth, yeah. So you're gonna look for an individual now that naturally you don't have to tell to go to the gym. That person's in the gym, bro. Like regardless of whether you say it or not, that person's going to be in the gym. And people don't look at these things, bro, because they're so infatuated by this idea of I need to be with somebody. Like, bro, be lonely for a bit, man. Like, work on yourself, and you will find somebody that is tailored to you, because everybody's got that person for them.
Like I always, yeah, that's a good point. I always say this. Like a lot of times, I think the idea of being with someone is so like so much in people's mindset right now, where they can't even just be by themselves. They can't accept that. They feel like they must have someone. But I don't think all the times that you need to have someone in order to be happy. In your twenties, especially as a guy, what you need to actually be doing is building. Even as a girl too, like but it applies to both. I feel like you just need to work on building yourself, building your career. 'Cause a lot of times people want to chase being in relationships and marriages without any foundations, without any
Zero,
marriages.
bro.
Sorry, not marriages, without any kind of career path. Like, and for me, that's the thing that confuses me so much. Is like, how are you looking at one thing without setting like the foundation for yourselves to get there?
Be
And
selfish, bro.
bro, that's it.
There has to be an element of selfishness, because you remember, yeah, this is one thing people have to remember, yeah. You are your own individual. Like you wake up as you every single day, yeah. Once you set up those foundations as an individual, your wife and your kids eat from the fruits of that tree that you've grown. Bro, all you've gone and done is you planted a seed and you've watered that tree every single day. And those roots have now created a tree that is so abundant that your kids and your wife and everybody else is able to eat from it. But where does that stem from? You planting that seed. Bro, it's not somebody else planting that seed for you, bro. You have to plant that seed and you have to water it. So that means if you have a career, you focus on that career. Bro, this is going to be one of the most controversial things here that I'm going to say, yeah, but I don't care in it. See, as a man,
Yeah,
I don't care, bro, if you got a girl or not, yeah? If your woman comes before your purpose, you're finished, bro.
we're finished.
You're finished, bro.
And the saddest thing, a lot of guys right now are putting their woman, their girlfriend over their purpose. They're not even making no sacrifices. You know, girls first, purpose second.
Never.
And and that's why for me it's so crazy right now because a lot of times this is why people ain't reaching their goals or a lot of people in their 20s aren't like, you know, chasing their dreams right now because it's the idea of chasing girls, you know, like being that kind of ladies man and going for like doing 100 date nights. It's not ideal right now, man. Because end of the day, like I said before, like how are you going to build on yourself and even grow as a person when all you want to do is chase girls?
Bro, deep it like this, year. This is going to be funny, yeah, what I say to you, but fam, people don't think of it like this, yeah? Deep it. 80% of the women go for the top 20% of the men, yeah?
Hmm.
But the reason why they go for the top 20% of those men is because what do the top 20% of men do?
Well,
Focus on their purpose.
that's it.
Bro, if you actually think about it, yeah? Bro, when you have somebody that's at like celebrity status or influencer status, yeah? These people have reached a certain pinnacle in their career, yeah? Why is it that they get all the women and all the female attention, but the average Joe doesn't? Bro, it's because that individual focused on their purpose. And people can say, yeah, but it's not genuine and it's not this and it's not that. But bro, attention's attention. They still get that attention, yeah? Now, remember this. Imagine being in the supermarket, yeah, and all you can get from that supermarket is apples because that's all they provide, yeah? And bro, it's very easy to stay loyal, isn't it? Yeah, it's very easy to stay loyal to that. Now, this is what a man with who focuses on his purpose gets, yeah? When he walks into that supermarket, he gets blueberries, he gets mangoes, he gets bananas.
Anything
Bro,
he
he gets
wants.
anything he wants. And he decides what is the best fruit that he wants to take. Bro,
Strictly.
focus on your purpose.
Yeah. To all guys watching, if you're in your 20s, because I know a lot of times you think the idea of like, chasing 100 girls is the way to go. It's really not. No girl wants to be with any broke bum or guy. Like the thing is, a lot of people realize it in their 30s, because 20s they always say is a time to kind of build and grow your career, and that's where it should be. I'm not saying that you shouldn't go for girls. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like you just gotta know how to balance it right, and how to manage your time better.
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
don't manage your time chasing girls 80% of the time, 9% of the time,
Exactly.
and the 10% on your purpose. It don't
Exactly.
make
It don't make
sense.
sense, bro.
Like you need to actually do the maths and actually understand. Like if you don't put the time and invest into your future, there won't be no future
There
for
will
you.
be no future for you. And women respect men more that spend more time and actually working on things than spending more time giving them that attention, bro. Because you remember, this is what it is. Women love attention, yeah?
Love it.
When women feel like they're deprived from that attention because a man's putting it elsewhere, what usually tends to happen is the woman usually tends to chase that man much more because she wants to require more of his attention, yeah? But because he's put 80% of that attention into the thing that's actually bringing in the foundations and the future, that's the reason why he will always prevail. Bro, man, them got it backwards nowadays, bro.
Wear it backwards. And this is like I always say this because like, I even remember asking one of my female friends. I was like, "Would you ever date a guy that drives a Corsa?" And she told me, "Hell no, that she will
Yeah.
never date a guy that drives a Corsa." I was like, "Damn!" Like I hear it. Like obviously, I can't fault you on that. Like I don't know. Like what's your thoughts on that one?
Bro, but everybody has their thing in it. Yeah. But this is what people have to remember. And this is what people really, really, really have to do. The general was once a soldier, yeah, and the master was once an apprentice. Not everybody's gonna start, you know, great. Like it doesn't work like that, because this is the funniest thing, yeah. And obviously, she feels how she feels in it, whatever. But imagine if that guy now goes from that Corsa, and he goes and drives a Ferrari, yeah, and she's never ever experienced a Ferrari, yeah. When he looks at her, she's down here now to him. He's up there, yeah. And this is the problem that I have sometimes, yeah. You see, guys and women, we're wired very differently psychologically, yeah? So a man will pick up a girl from Starbucks or like Costa and he wouldn't care. But look at Cristiano Ronaldo, bro, and look at his girl. Like, she was nowhere near on his level, but he brought her to that level.
That's
But
true.
sometimes, and I'm not saying all women, because don't get me wrong, there's some very supportive women out there that really want to elevate their men, yeah? But some women are like, oh, I don't want to go for the guy that has the course, or I don't want to go for the guy that has this. Remember, life is a marathon. That's temporary shit. Like, what? That guy might have a Corsa, but he's got 250 bags in his account. But you might be with a brother that's got a Mercedes, and that guy is literally living paycheck to paycheck every single. Bro, not even that, bro. In overdraft. So what? You want to look like you got it? Do you get what I'm saying? What is it? You don't want to be a man that's driving a Corsa because of what? Do you get what I'm saying? It's like, because of what? Is it because of how it's perceived on the outside? It's his ambition. It's who he is as a person. What does he do on a day-to-day basis? Is he ambitious enough to go out there and actually make something happen? So obviously no heat is thrown at her in it. Like, she likes what she likes in it. But yeah, me personally, I don't agree with that. So
You know it is because I feel like the way some like let's say girls in this generation now they might look and deem someone as wealthy from materialistic things, and this is the issue because now this is what guys are chasing. They're chasing all these like nice cars to show their wealth.
yeah,
When, like you said, they might not actually have that much money in the bank. So this like idea of a guy driving a nice car shows his wealth. Forget about it. That is not gonna show you anything. I'll be
nothing.
real. Like a
cap.
guy can actually drive a nice car nowadays and be broke. Like it's just like it's common. It's common
Common
facts.
facts, bro.
Yeah.
Drake was spending, what was it, 5 grand on a. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he was spending like 5 grand on a Rolls Royce or something a month, yeah, to boost up his music career. But bro, he didn't even have the money like that. But we talk about Drake now, bro. His money's so long. Every woman wants him now, but that's what he was doing to keep up a certain image at that time. Like, bro, another person, Jim Jones. Jim Jones goes, he was driving a Ferrari, but he had $1,500 in his bank account. Like, bro, people are really like living this lifestyle.
They're living
So
it, man. Yeah.
it's about that security, and you know what? People need to see past materials because My biggest problem with materials is, Nipsey Hussle says it in one of his songs, no material could ever measure what my soul's worth. Yeah?
Mm,
People look at materials, bro, that's just a person like you and me that has gone and built a brand, put a name on it, and valued it at that. Do you know most of these people
literally.
that are like celebrities and all of these things, bro? Do you know these people are getting these clothes for free? Do you know they're literally giving these clothes? Like my brethren, obviously, I'm not gonna disclose who it is, but somebody told him that the the bracelet that he had and the clothes that he was wearing was given to him by the actual company themselves. That they send you free stuff, bro. So these men are wearing LV and that because LV are sending these things to them, bro. They're not buying it.
It's crazy.
So like people need to get it out of their head, but that shows to me to a certain degree as well. And this is no disrespect, a lack of IQ. Because once you start understanding finances, you start understanding that finances is not about material wealth. It's about assets. It's about how do I increase my earning potential to put my money into assets? Because eventually, what you want to get to in life, bro, is you have a principal amount of, let's say, 10 mil, as I said, and you're living off of 1% of that. Bro, if you're living off of 100 bags of that, bro, but you got 10 mil, bro, you're living calm, you're good. But your house is paid off for or whatever, blah, blah, blah. You're good. Bro, you can do what the hell you want. That's real freedom. Not buying material goods and then having to pay for it through debt management plans every single month to try and keep up with that. And then you look like you got it, but bro, you're drowning in debt.
Drowning, man. Like, it's actually sad, man. Like, this is what the generations come to now, man. This is what they think is deemed as like kind of how they'll be accepted by a lot of females now. Like, and it's mad. Like, even let's say like cool in a relationship. Like, do you think like what percentage would you say it should be in terms of like you pay for like things when you're going out with your girlfriend or one of your partner, like to girls like helping cover the bill sometimes or whatnot.
It depends. You have different dynamics of relationships, yeah? So you've got relationships where the guy will say, you know what, yeah, I'll pay for everything, yeah?
Yeah.
But you as my woman are the backbone of this relationship. So you cook, you clean, you provide me support where I need it, and you give me admin support where I need it, yeah? But you remember, bro, housewife duties is still a job and it's a hard job. Like, live over, I know. See it.
Yeah.
I got my girl. I see it. It's not easy, bro. But you got other guys where it's like, okay, you're going to have a 50-50 partnership, yeah? Where the woman's contributing to that house. But guess what? And this is where men get it wrong under this dynamic, yeah? And I understand why girls get pissed off. You have the 50-50 dynamic, yeah? But you still expect the women to do 100% of the things. But then you just go to work and you come home and you want to sit back. I don't agree with that, bro. I think if there's that 50-50 dynamic, yeah, when you go home, you need to go and support that woman as well. So what happens is, it's like, I don't think it's a percentage, yeah? Because I think every relationship should be 100%, 100%, yeah? And whatever percentage you show up on that day, the individual makes up for that. So let's say your woman shows up at only 40% that day. You make up for the other 60%. And this is not just money, bro. This is in everything, yeah? Because you always want to bring it to a 100% region. But the biggest problem right now is this is the problem that women are having. Man, them are saying, okay, we're going 50-50 on bills, yeah? But you must cook, clean, look after the kids, do all these other stuff. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to work, and when I get home, I'm going to sit my ass back and go watch TV, or I'm going to go to the pub with the guys, and I'm going to go drink my life away. Bro, she's doing too much. Like, she's doing way too much. So it's either, bro, you're going to do one or the other. You either provide for her and you give her the foundation for her to be the housewife, or you go 50-50 with her, but you pick up that slack as well. You look after the kids with her. You take the kids to the extracurricular activities when you need. You come home and you help her with certain things. Bro, you can't have it both ways, bro.
You actually can't.
You can't have it both ways. So I think this whole conversation about what should a man pay and what should a woman pay and blah, 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 I think that conversation opens up this hatred culture that we currently have today where men are, what's the best word for me to say it? Men are portraying this level of hate to women, and women are portraying a level of hate to men because the lines in between are crossed and they're not ironed out because people are just not truthful with what the situation is. Bro, like, it's not how it used to be, man. Like, it's not how it used to be,
The
bro.
game's changed.
Like,
But
people say misogyny and all this, and like, oh, men are throwing hatred towards women. But I'm like, bro, create better men, you get better women.
yeah, you know what is it? Like, if I even think of it now, I personally think like there shouldn't even be a debate of like what percentage. Like in a healthy relationship, like obviously a guy you'll probably cover more things. Like let's say you're going out, you're gonna pay for bills and whatnot. You'll cover more things naturally. But I don't think the percentage thing should even come
It's
in place when
crazy.
it comes to relationship. Like your girlfriend would like cover things without you even asking. Like it's just a natural thing, like a natural thing to do. Like if you're in a relationship where like you two both know what it is, like I don't think that discussion needs to come in hand. Like
But you know what the problem is, though? I think if you're gonna have that nature, yeah, where two people are bringing in household income, I think that the money should be one, so one pot. The
yeah,
problem that I have sometimes, yeah, and it's not all women, is they say to their man, "Your money's my money, but my money's my money." Yeah, and that's sometimes that causes
that's
problems
the issue.
because it's like if you love this person and you want to marry this person and everything, yeah, you don't want to create the best life. So, as it says in the Bible, and you could even go and revert to the Quran, yeah, two is better than one. Like, put keep your resources together. You have a pool of resources together, bro. If my girl's making a bag a month, and I'm making 10 bags a month, bro, I'm gonna tell my girl, you know what, give me that grand, but I'm not going to spend. I'm not gonna tell her you're limited to that £1,000, babe. Whatever you want to spend, yeah, within a certain remit. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna segregate it. This is the money that's gonna be for bills. This is the money that's gonna be for investing. This is the money that's gonna be for saving. This is our disposable cash, yeah. What you want to do with it? Go. Like, what, you want to go get your nails done? Go get your nails done. What, you want to go out with your girls? Go out with your girls. But it's like people are fighting against each other in relationships now. It's not even like they're trying to work together anymore, bro. It's like, oh, but my money's my money. I should do this with my money. Oh, you can't do this. You can't do that. And bro, that's where the lines are
So
crossed.
you think they should do put the money as one in a relationship or marriage? What do you think?
Marriage.
Yeah.
In
So in a
in a
relationship.
relationship, segregate. Yeah, but in a marriage, I think they should put it as one.
Yeah.
Because, bro, this is just.
No, it's true. It's true.
Because if you deep it, yeah, if they get divorced, what happens? They have to split 50-50 anyway.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? You have to split. So why wouldn't you just not go whole? Because if the woman, and this is my problem, you know, if the woman earns more than a man, because people always like, oh yeah, but the woman walks away with more money. Like, oh, the woman, if women divorce men, yeah, and women take everything away from a man, bro, that only applies to rich men, bro. Because if you bought a yard with your woman, yeah, so let's say you bought a house with your woman, yeah, she's put down half of that depot as well, or she's contributed to the mortgage as well, yeah. So technically speaking, you lot were 50-50 from the beginning. So she's not taking nothing away from you, bruv. If she didn't put that 50% down on the deposit, you would never have that yard in the first place. Do you get what I'm saying? And because you sort of now paid off the equity on that house, you're probably in a better off situation now because you bought that house for 500 bags and you sort of walking away with 250. So, yeah.
No, it's true. Like, cause even going back to like, let's say getting a house with your partner, like, what do you think about, let's say you're in a relationship, let's say 3, 4 years, what do you think about getting a house with your partner being in a long term relationship with?
Are you thinking of marrying them?
Potentially, yeah.
If
Potentially.
if you're not thinking about marrying them, I don't think you should.
I personally don't think you should get a house with your partner until like you're engaged. Personally, because I've actually witnessed firsthand like couples where they've been in a relationship, they've got their house, and then they've broke up, and then what happens next?
Madness.
You've got to move in with your mum, the guys to move in with their mum and whatnot, and the guy is like. What happens next? Like someone has to still stay in that property, you're still paying off that mortgage. And this is the issue because a lot of people are not actually thinking like there's there's no kind of security with like the marriage and whatnot that like yeah, because now you've broken up and whatnot, like what happens next?
Bro, I think that's a. Do you know what I think that is? That's an impulsive decision. You, um, people need to realize this. Uh, relationships is not about love, dandy, sunflowers. Everything is rosy. It's not about that. So when it's a proper relationship, a proper relationship is hardships. A proper relationship is understanding. A proper relationship is communication. A proper relationship is acceptance. A proper relationship is putting pride to the side. But a proper relationship is literally, you see, when there's bad things that arise, you find solutions and you always come out on top. Bro, this is my personal opinion. If you're not thinking, I'm going to get married to this woman, don't buy nothing with her. Because what you're doing is you're wasting your time and you're wasting her time. And time is precious. Bro, get married to that woman, otherwise don't buy the yard with her. Don't buy it.
A lot of people are making that mistake.
And do you know the reason why? Because of pressures. Because they think this is what I need to do. Oh, bro, it's levels. Bro, that's not levels, bro. That's dumb. That's dumb, bro. Unless if you're in, and when we say long term, unless if you're in a long term relationship where you've been with this woman for 15 years and for some reason you don't just have come to some sort of agreement that you're not going to get married, but you've got kids and everything, yeah? Bro, you basically married, isn't it? You basically set that foundation for marriage, yeah? Cool. But bro, you're talking about people that are like 2-3 years into the relationship and then think, I want to go buy that, bro.
Wrong move, man.
It's like when people just, obviously culturally it's different, but it's like when people just jump into marriages without knowing the person. I'm like, bro, you're crazy, fam.
And this what happens when you get pressured by social media and all, like even family pressure. Sometimes you get, let's say you get to 30, like the family pressure when you get married is a lot for a lot of people to handle. Some people are thinking like, I'm getting too old now. I need to have that married. Like, it's crazy, man. Like,
it's a conversation that can go on for days, isn't it?
But to finish off, what's one piece of advice you give to someone in like the early 20s, right now, this generation?
Focus on capital intensive things that is going to earn you a lot of money. Don't focus on building up skills, and skills, because skills will set you the foundations for what you need in the future. Take risk. Like, you're young. What are you gonna lose? Like, and when I say take risks, if you want to go for that career path or you want to go for that job, go for that job. If you want to learn a new subject, go and learn a new subject. Because as you get older and as you start taking on more responsibility in life, things get harder. And those responsibilities come with obligations and you need to meet those obligations. If you take those risks from when you're in your 20s, those risks can pay off, can pay you 30s, your 40s, and your 50s. So my advice would be to people, build skills and focus on earning as opposed to just trying to get through life and just trying to swindle your way through and blah blah blah. Like, have a focus, like be focused, be strategical with what you want to do, and just build your life up from there, man.
That's it. Even myself, if I was giving anyone advice right now in this day and age, I say the one, like, few pieces of advice, but you are who you keep company with. Like if you chill with 5 people that are bums, you're gonna be the sixth bum. You've heard that saying.
Yeah,
So I'm not gonna lie to you, like your company is one of your greatest assets. Like they can even make or break you. Like especially when you're in your early 20s, you might want to just be with that popular kid. Like in this day and age now, you need to be with that kind of person that's wise, that's like that they know what they want in life, rather than all the partying and all the clubbing. Like that's irrelevant, You
Yeah.
soon realize that in your 30s anyway.
Yeah.
So make sure you keep yourself around good company and like even with, I'd say, like girls are a big thing that can mess up a lot of guys early on in their 20s.
Yeah, that's because man, I'm a simping, bro.
Yeah, like I feel like guys shouldn't chase girls. Like chase your purpose.
Exactly.
If you chase your purpose, and this is to anyone that even loves girls, girls will come to you naturally.
Exactly.
Girls gravitate towards guys that
Exactly.
have a purpose. Or if you chase your purpose, you've built your career. Like naturally, everything's gonna come your way. Not even just girls. Like just everything that you're aspiring to do in life. Like
Law of attraction, bro.
law of attraction. That's it. And people are forgetting they're chasing the wrong thing. So chase, that aspect in life, and trust me, like everything's gonna fall in place for you, man. Like And the sooner people realize that, the more successful you'll be. And yeah, in your 20s, that's the years to just grow, build, and create that foundation. Especially when you get to your 30s, your 40s, because a lot of people say they want to be successful, they want to be rich, I want to be a businessman, but on a day-to-day basis, what actions are they actually taking?
Exactly, bro.
Like if you write down, what you actually do each day at the end of each day, and you think to yourself like, damn, I've actually not made anything on my 24 hours, and that accumulates over the next year or so, 2 years. Like you'll be in the same position. Like,
The person that spends 1 hour a day on their craft will be much better than the person that spends nothing on their craft.
yeah,
1 hour a day, bro. 1 hour a day.
1 hour a
and
day.
that accumulates. Because you remember, 1 hour a day. 1 hour a day, if you do that over the course of a week, bro, you're looking at 7 hours, bro. You do that over the course of a month, you're looking at 24 hours, bro. And that accumulates, fam. Bro, look at it over the course of a year. You spend about 200 and something hours, literally, on
Your
one
life can change in
Your
1 year.
whole life can change in 1 year, bro.
Like, yeah, man. So,
Yeah, man.
live lesson for you guys, man. But I hope you've enjoyed the Money Station KP. It's been good, man.
Bro, it's been good, man.
Yeah, man.
Need more of these.
Love, man. Hey, that was